Steve Bowers welcoming you to Dialogue here at E+ TV6 and a conversation with Mike Smith, who for 20 years has been the Executive Director of the Southwest Human Resource Agency. Mike's good to see you.
Yeah, good morning. Good to see you.
But I would think when I say Southwest Human Resource Agency, people may be familiar with what you do, but they may not know about you.
Okay. The Southwest Human Resource Agency is a public nonprofit that's established by the state legislature to be a service delivery mechanism to deliver federal, state grant programs to assist people that have been affected by poverty and the things that go along with poverty. So we do a lot of different things, but our core service there is to alleviate the effects of poverty for the communities that we serve, which is 8 counties in the Southwest Tennessee area.
So we talked about Chester, Henderson County's in, all the way over to Hardeman County.
McNary, Hardeman, Haywood.
Those are, does not get into Fayette or in the Shelby County area, but here. And so these were started for what reason then? Just a way to make sure that these services that the state or federal government is doing actually get?
It kind of evolved from the 60s, the civil rights laws, the war on poverty and those kinds of things. So they established what they called community action agencies across America. And so our agency kind of evolved, and I think in 1973, President Nixon decided through an executive order that he was going to abolish all the community action agencies across America. Well, the folks got together.
For what reason?
Well, I don't know, just, you know.
Inefficiencies or?
Well, I guess some combination of things. Right. But anyway, there was a court case about that, and the court decided that he didn't have authority to do that. So in Tennessee, there was a group of people that were doing that work that got together and wrote some legislation in Tennessee. This is 1973, that establishes the Human Resource Network in Tennessee. There's 9 across the state, and we actually serve the same locations as the development district. Sometimes we get confused with the development district, but we're actually 2 different organizations. We work together to try to improve the quality of life for people in our area, but they're doing mostly economic development, grant writings, and working with communities, cities, and counties. And so we're doing the same, but it's the people that we serve are a little bit different.
Because they also get into senior services and all.
It's kind of confusing how that's established.
I start to say it would be difficult for people. Is there a simple way to say how you're different than Joe Barker and the?
They're in the economic development
side, right?
And they do Tennessee Commission on Aging work, which is maybe Meals on Wheels and that kind of thing. And then they contract that work out, and we actually do the service.
I do the service.
So we're actually a service organization, and they work, mostly with cities and counties. So we're kind of like FedEx in that we deliver services.
Mike Smith is with us, and this just, when you start trying to describe their services, you got a newsletter here, and it gets fairly extensive when you start looking at these pages here and all the things that are said. So is there a simple way to describe exactly what you do?
I don't know if there's a simple way.
Because these are many different programs.
There's a lot of different programs. And really when the legislation established the Human Resource Network, it kind of was general in scope, and so it allowed for the local communities to basically do whatever the needs are. So what we try to do is we try to
kind of ground up.
Yeah, we try to identify what the needs in a specific community are, and then we try to find a program that fits that to attack that problem and to
So are you
alleviate.
applying for grants in some cases?
We do. We apply for grants. Most all of the money that we get are grant related, so we do a lot of different grants. For instance, here in East Jackson, we've got a housing division. We manage rental properties. We've got 36 rental properties. Some of them are here in Jackson, but in East Jackson, there's been a real push here in downtown Jackson to revitalize, to rebuild, to renovate older homes, tear them down in some cases, and build new. So we're involved over on Dupree Street. We've got 4 homes that we just finished that are for low and moderate income families. They're for sale, and they've just been finished here in the last few weeks. So that's one of the things that we do. We do a lot of work for seniors. We have the Meals on Wheels programs that we do in the 8 counties down here, and then we do Fayette, Tipton, and Lauderdale as well. We operate a central kitchen where we actually prepare and deliver those meals from that kitchen. It's located in Henderson. So this year we'll do about 1 million meals out of that kitchen.
So
It's not just senior meals.
Are they delivered every day?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
Okay.
So not only senior meals are prepared and delivered there, but our Head Start program, which has about 425 students, kids, 3 and 4-year-old children, we prepare and deliver those meals as well. And we do a at-risk after-school program for schools that have after-school programs. What we found out is sometimes kids get fed at school, but they don't get fed at night.
Right.
So this program is designed to reach out to those children and help them be fed. And then during the summer months, we do a summer food program.
Okay.
You may remember last year in March, we had a local celebrity come down here, Trey Smith.
Okay.
You know, Trey just last night is going to get to play in his 3rd Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, yeah, pretty good career.
Oh, yeah. So last year, Trey came down and spent the day with us. We did an 8-county bus tour to all the courthouses in the 8 counties. And Trey went with us, and he helped us kick off the summer food program.
Okay.
And such a nice guy.
Okay.
You know, he's a local kid. He went to school here at USJ, played football at the University of Tennessee, and then now he's playing for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right place, right time.
Oh, he's a great guy. Such a good heart too.
So Mike, then in the history of Southwest Human Resource Agency, then communities would come and say, here's a need that we have, and can we match up with you? Are they still doing that? I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
So all kinds of new initiatives.
Yeah.
I know we got a new initiative we're going to talk about coming here in just a moment. But it varies from county to county then in some cases, all right, as to what you do.
One of the new initiatives that we just signed a contract on last week, it's called a fatherhood program, and it's through Department of Human Services. And so they developed a pot of money, and so agencies like ours could apply for a grant. And it's really a reentry program. We've done this program in the past. And so what we do, we meet with the sheriffs in each one of our counties, in some cases the district attorneys, and we've developed a program to actually go into the jail. They pick out individuals that may be successful in going through that program. It's usually about a 6 weeks intensive training program to connect them to services that are available in their communities once they get out, so that they can stay out. Now the recidivism rate, which is, you know, getting out of jail and then going back, the national average is about 66%. In Madison County, it's about 80%.
Yeah, it was much higher.
So this program is going to be designed to help lower that recidivism rate. So
We'll pick that thought up in a moment.
Okay.
Mike Smith is with us. He's the Executive Director of the Southwest Human Resource Agency. We'll continue this discussion right here on Dialogue at E+ TV6.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Welcome back to Dialogue at E+ TV6 as we continue our conversation with Mike Smith, who for 20 years has been the executive director of the Southwest Human Resource Agency. You were talking about this program then to try to reduce recidivism. So it's just being launched?
Yeah,
Right.
we
Okay.
just signed a contract last week, and so we'll start that program this year.
So what will the implementation of this then be then, Mike?
Well, like I said, it'll give the local sheriffs a chance to be involved. Those individuals will be in a training facility in the jail or some complex at SWHRA. And we will go in and we've got a lot of different information that we'll share with them. What we found out is most of those individuals want to be out and they want to have a productive life. And so what we try to do is to find out what their issues are. What are their stumbling blocks to keeping them from once they get out to stay out? So in many cases it's employment. In many cases it may be they owe child support. In some cases it may be drug related. So there's just a multitude of things there that may affect them. And so what we're going to do is identify what those are and then connect them to people that can help them if it's a drug problem or if it's you know, they may not have a driver's license. And so there's so many impediments to people being employed. I mean, sometimes we take it for granted.
Yeah, we do.
Because, you know, if you don't have a driver's license or if you've got a felony on your record, we're going to work with the district attorneys and there's an expungement program. Maybe they can get some of this stuff off their record, and that's a real critical area for employers. But what we've done, or what we'll do also is it will identify specific employers that will take a chance on these folks and hire them.
Okay.
And most of them are really bright people. They just made bad choices. And so we're going to kick that off right away.
Well, it'll be interesting to see because, there's been real concern in Madison County because our recidivism rate has been so very, very high.
Yeah, it's, I think for the investment that we're making and the return on investment is going to be tremendous. I mean, you know, you always hear a lot of criticism about government programs and, you know, just throwing money at this and throwing money at that. But we're going to actually prove that we're invested money in these people's lives. And they may not be taxpayers today, but in the future, they may be contributing to, you know, paying taxes like everybody else. Sometimes we think that's a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing in some cases.
You also talked about there's a new initiative concerning the elderly and technology. So describe that one.
Yeah, we've gotten a grant that is part of the broadband initiative. You know, there's a lot of money being pumped into the state government, local governments to try to have the accessibility to the broadband and the internet. And I see it where I live, down in Selma, where they're running cable and all over for people to get internet, and everybody's wanting to get hooked up on it because it's the best way to go.
Essential, yeah.
Yeah, and so now this program will allow us to train people, elderly people that may not know how to navigate the internet. You know, as I get older, I know people are intimidated by different things, but it's real easy, and we just got to be open to learning. So this program we'll purchase Chromebooks. We'll give them a Chromebook, and we'll give them so many hours of training about how to navigate the internet, how to, communicate with their doctor, and all those kinds of things that sometimes seems easy, but it's not if you're not used to that kind of thing. So this program is designed to do that.
Okay. Has it been implemented? Is it already underway? Or
we've already started this program a couple of years ago with a different grant, but this is a new grant that will expand it. I think the total amount of the grant's about $800,000. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually this time go into the homes of elderly and shut-in people and teach them in their home. So right now we've got a coordinator for that program. We're hiring local people that will be part-time, and they will teach those classes. Okay. And so it's an exciting thing to see that open up for somebody. Okay. If you can imagine never being part of the internet, but if that all opened up to you, it's just amazing. And the funny story about it is one of our employees said, well, my mother found a boyfriend on the internet. So, there's all different kind of things that you can do. A lot of advantages there, but mostly to help people to communicate.
Well, now when you go to see your doctor or whatever, they want you to register in advance. I mean, everything, it streamlines everything.
That's right.
If you got access, if you don't have access, you're just totally outside the.
That's right. I mean, they communicate via email and text message and all that kind of thing. So this will help.
How many total programs do you administer through?
I think we've got about 55 grants that we administer.
So how do people find out about these?
Well, you can go on our website, which is SWHRA.org. SWHRA.org.
Okay.
So all of our programs are listed there. You can call us. We still answer the phone down there every day. We've got somebody that works the front desk, and so call our directors, find out what's going on. We put all that information out there. We just did our latest newsletter. This is kind of a review of the programs that we do. We do programs for senior services. We do programs for small children, 3 and 4-year-old children. We have Head Start. One of the exciting things going on in Head Start, we just opened up a new Head Start facility in Haywood County.
Okay.
It's about a 17,000 square foot building. We got a grant from the Department of Health and Human Services to pay for that entirely. So it's about a $4 million.
So I didn't realize Head Start, of course, we have Washington Douglas Head Start here.
Yeah.
Dr. Jerry Woods and crew there.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny. The service area for our agency is 8 counties. But years ago, for some reason, Head Start went with the Northwest area.
Okay, so they're
part of the Northwest Head Start.
Okay.
And I never understood that completely.
Okay.
But we have 7 counties that do Head Start.
Head Start. And so and you administer those?
Yeah, we administer those. And so.
Because that involves a lot of children here.
Yeah, it does. It's a big, Madison County has a lot of Head Start children. Yeah. But anyway, we just opened that new center up, and we're building another one identical to that one in Lexington. They work really close with the city and the counties. They've located some land, donated the land to us, and we're building those buildings. So, and we just purchased the new, an existing building in Henderson. And so we own that property. I think last year, one of the highlights in this report that we put out, financial highlights, was that we added about $20 million worth of assets in debt-free property. So that's part of the whole big scheme of things that we do.
Mike Smith with us. He is the Executive Director of the Southwest Human Resource Agency. One thing they do is utility assistance, and that's where we tie in directly with them at the Jackson Energy Authority. We'll talk about that as we continue this dialogue at E+ TV6.
What this place needs is better graduation rates.
What this place needs is less childhood obesity.
What this place needs is free help with taxes.
What this place needs is healthy breakfasts.
What this place needs is fitness programs for kids.
What this place needs is early readers.
What this place needs is mentors for teens.
What this place needs is people to join us. What this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org.
From time to time, life may throw us a curveball. Even with the best of efforts, maintaining the essentials like utilities can be difficult. With UtiliCare, you can make a donation to help provide utility assistance to families right here in Jackson. Your contribution makes a difference for those families struggling to pay utility bills. Go online to learn more or donate. jaxenergy.com/UtiliCare.
Welcome back to Dialogue at E+ TV6 as we continue our conversation with Mike Smith. For the last 20 years, he has been the Executive Director of the Southwest Human Resource Agency, multifaceted service, primarily 8 counties in West Tennessee, Southwest Tennessee, starting with Madison going south. But they have some programs that extend into other counties, and there's some we found out, like Head Start, that are in Jackson, but they're run through the Northwest system. I guess when you stay in business long enough, sometimes the lines cross. One thing that has been done that Southwest Human Resource Agency does is help people with utility assistance. And the Jackson Energy Authority is directly tied to them with our UtiliCare program, where people voluntarily round up a utility bill or make a specific dollar amount donation every month that goes to help pay utility bills for those that have run into challenging times in their lives and need utility assistance. It's an extensive program, and the advantage of working with Southwest is that you can handle the case loads, you know the people, know the histories, know whatever. So how much is involved? First of all, how much money is dispensed through this program?
Well, in the partnership that we've got with Jackson Energy Authority, there's about $18,000 that went into that program last year. We helped about 45 households assist with their energy costs. Now, that doesn't include the other programs that we do in Madison County. It's called the Low Income Energy Assistance Program, and that program helped 2,243 households in Madison County, and the total expenditure there was $1.6 million. So it's a pretty substantial program for Madison County, but our partnership with JEA has been quite good, and we appreciate that because I know, like you said, it's a rounding up of energy bills that other people have contributed to agreed to pay.
How do people qualify for this, or what are the circumstances where utility assistance can be found?
We have what we call community service centers in each one of our counties. The one here in Madison County is on Whitehall Avenue out here, and so they can go into that office and they can make application, and that application is sent to our central office. We review it to make sure that the income guidelines are met. And then once it's approved, we'll send them a letter saying that they've been approved. And then that payment is made directly to the energy provider. We don't give them the money, but we give it to the energy provider. And then I think they just basically give them a credit. It's up to $800, so it's a substantial amount of money.
It's not designed to be an in perpetuity type thing. It's a one-time.
One time a year for a household. Assistance program, but to help bridge those gaps out there, which I guess is, reflective of all. The advantage that you've got is that you have case histories and you know the people, and it's a way to do this. Yeah, and it's you have to qualify. It's not just going to be handed out based on you think
behind on a utility bill.
Yeah, and so we work closely with utility providers to make sure that in some cases they call us if somebody's electric power is being cut off and say, can you help? And we'll look at it. In some cases we can. So
I know in some cases we have people on staff at JA that will refer people to
That's
you.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we've got a really close working relationship with all the providers, and it's really a good program, and it helps a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's a perpetual need out there.
Yeah, there's about 7,000 in our 8-county service area that we help annually, 7,000 households.
With this. It's it's symptomatic, I guess, so there's so many different needs out there. It's a matter of combining all these things, and this organization's got an extensive history of this.
Well, one of the companion programs with the low-income energy assistance is weatherization assistance. And so what the federal government says, well, if we're going to help you with your energy cost, then the next step there is to try to go into your home and make it more energy efficient. So we've got the weatherization assistance program that can actually go into the home. We will do an evaluation. In some cases, we'll run a test. We'll set up a machine and it'll blow air through the home, and we'll identify where the leakage are, and we'll do things to help improve that. We'll do the work, and then we'll run the test again to make sure that it meets a certain criteria there to make it more energy efficient.
All right. So, and those are income eligibility driven, right?
They are.
Okay. Yeah. So the best way to plug into that would be what, Mike?
Well, you can go to our website and look at them, and in some cases, some of the programs you can do an online application. Okay. But if you don't want to do that, you can go to the community service offices and meet with an individual. They can help and assist with the application and make it easy as possible.
While you're listening to you talk, it's with 50 programs, like herding cats, it would seem like. I mean, and of course, and there are new grant programs coming up.
Yeah.
All the time. We've gone through some interesting evolutions, I think, because, I remember years ago taking economics and everything else, the debate was over revenue sharing. There were some in the federal government said, well, let's don't have all these grants with all this detailed criteria. Let's just give the money to state and local governments and let them meet the needs that are best, which sounded pretty good, right? But did some communities got to using the money just to pay recurring expenses, which was not wise.
Yeah.
And other things. So then the government comes back and says, no, let's get back to doing more grants, specific targeted things. So
yeah. Well, for us, I think one of the things that I'm most proud of is that, we've been around for a long time. We had an employee that retired last year that had worked 51 years.
Wow.
And so we have I think, an excellent reputation of being able to manage these programs. It's not easy. I mean, we've already talked and got confused on some of the things that we talked about, but there's a lot of details in all this. So, but what I'm most proud of is that we've been able to have a good track record of manage those state and federal grant dollars. This year, we've managed about $50 million, and we did all of that with a clean audit, no question cost. So that's not a small task, but it's something I'm proud of.
What's it meant to you personally?
For me personally, I think it's the integrity of it all. I mean, I'm driven by my faith every day to walk the walk and talk the talk, but that goes over into what you do. That's your life. And so for me, it's, I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, that's just the only way we can operate. So I'm really proud of that. I was county mayor for 10 years before I came up to Southwest, and then before that, I was a building contractor. So for me, dealing with money and people has always been something that I've done. And it's been different, but it's been, I guess, 3 careers, and I'm still working and enjoying every minute of it.
Right. Mike, you're talking about one exciting thing that's happening now is a new initiative in transportation.
Yeah, we operate a public transportation system that serves the 8-county area.
It does what?
Well, it's public transportation. It's for anybody that needs a ride anywhere.
Okay.
A lot of people think that our public transportation is just for seniors, but it's for anybody that wants to ride.
Okay.
And so it's...
So it's done through volunteer drivers?
No, they're not volunteers. They're paid drivers.
Okay, paid drivers. So you have buses or...
We have buses and vans and that kind of thing. So we do about 600 trips per day, and we'll log about 3 million miles a year.
To take people to medical appointments?
Wherever they want to go.
Okay, if they need to shop or do whatever.
That's right. Okay. It's for public.
Now, you got a new facility that's being built.
Well, we haven't started it. We've been awarded a $9.8 million grant to build a new administration and maintenance facility for our transportation fleet. Now, we have about 100 buses.
I see the buses.
Yeah, you see them everywhere. Mm-hmm. So we need a new building facility. The one that was built is not large enough. Some of our buses have gotten bigger. And the one that we've got now is not big enough to maintain those buses. And so this one will give us a new administrative building. There's a lot of behind the scenes things that go on to move people around. People call, want to go. You got to schedule it. We've got all of that's done on computer scheduling. And so you got to call them back and say, we'll be there at a certain time. And you got to pick them up and get them where they're going. So there's a lot of moving parts there. And then the billing part of it is another big part of it as well. And then the drivers, we have to train those drivers. And in our case, we try to train those drivers and allow them to compete locally in what we call a driving rodeo. And then we prepare them for state competition. We've actually got a driver that won second in the state competition this year. He's going to San Diego in June of this year to compete in the national driver competition. So pretty exciting.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Appreciate it very much, Mike.
Thank you.
Mike Smith, the Executive Director of the Southwest Human Resource Agency. Be sure to check that when you're in need or know people that could maybe need some help with some challenges in their life. Appreciate you being with us. Stay with us here at E+ TV6 because this is the place where the dialogue